All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we have another Houston Rockets video. I swear, this is like the 15th video. I mean, that's totally being dramatic. This is probably like my 6th or 7th video in the 5 months that I've been covering the Houston Rockets, where I am saying, do the Houston Rockets have another star on their hands? And, in a season when you have 17 wins, you trade away Russell Westbrook, you trade away James Harden, your best player for the last 10 years, trade away Victor Oladipo, you trade away PJ Tucker, you get a new, essentially, front office, or new GM, I should say. We deserve this, right? So I made a video on Anthony Lamb a couple of months ago, and it was called, I don't even remember, it was like Anthony Lamb is a future stud, something like that. Basically, Anthony Lamb dropped 21 points last night, obviously his career high, and recently in the last 2 weeks or so, he's been finally getting some playing time. And I've got some Anthony Lamb highlights playing in the background from his time at Vermont. This is the only Anthony Lamb highlight compilation that exists on YouTube. It's pretty crazy. There's a lot of editing errors, so I am sorry. But, Anthony Lamb barely has played, so there's not too many clips on this guy. He is 23 years old. He's from Rochester, New York, which is awesome because first off, a cool band called Joy Waves from Rochester. My roommate's from Rochester. Rochester, New York sounds super cool, but he's 6'6". He's out of Vermont, and I think that all around this guy can help us play because he's a solid defender. He can knock down an open three, and he can score. And I just think that considering he's 23 years old, this is when he has to play. This is when you've got to play. Last year, Christian Wood, 24 years old, 23, 24 years old. That was the first year Christian Wood finally got to play some basketball. Now, obviously, Anthony Lamb spent a lot of years in Vermont, and then he spent some time in the G League. But being 23 years old, it's almost like I just really, really hope that the Rockets can give him an opportunity in the next couple of weeks, in the next couple of games, just because it's not even for the Houston Rockets' sake. I'm sick of these players who have potential get 2 games where they're just thrown in randomly. I'm not even specifically talking about Anthony Lamb, but 2 games where you're just randomly thrown in. You get signed to a 10-day contract. You get thrown in the absolute worst possible situation for your debut or your second game. You just disappoint. And you never make it to the NBA again because the 2 games you played in NBA in just an undesirable situation, this is what happened. So Anthony Lamb, I really hope that doesn't happen with Anthony Lamb, but he is so young, but he's so old at the same time where it's if he wants to be a solid, at least role player and maintain being in the NBA, that 21-point game, the 8.9-point game the other night ago, these are just good. It's good because you want him to get his confidence up that when he's thrown in these situations, like last night where he had to play 31 minutes for the Houston Rockets, he feels comfortable, and he clearly felt comfortable last night. He had 4 threes. It was just beautiful. It was so good to see Anthony Lamb finally play well because, you could argue a few nights ago against Utah where he only played 5 minutes. He drained 2 threes and a field goal. He had 8 points, threw in a block. You could argue that was his best game as a Houston Rocket because he's barely played. But finally gets over the 5-minute mark, and it's just great. So Anthony Lamb, I don't know if they have a future star, but I will say I do think he is a stud. I think he's an athletic stud. I think this is definitely a player who can help us out possibly long-term. We don't really know the situation. Right now, honestly, I'd rather have Armani Brooks long-term than Anthony Lamb. But if you asked me this question 2 months ago when Anthony Lamb was fucking dropping 20 every night in the G League, I would have told you a different story. So that is what I like so much about this Houston Rockets team is it's just development, and that is exactly what needs to be happening right now. So it's a little too early to decide if Anthony Lamb is, obviously it's way too early to decide if he's going to be a future star, but I think he at least has valuable role player capability. Being at 23 years old, he can already produce at an NBA level. I mean, that's, I think he's going to have a good long career ahead of himself. So Anthony Lamb, I hope you get minutes on the Houston Rockets for the remainder of the season, honestly. I hope they sign him to a contract if he does well in that. But for right now, man, we're just kind of seeing with all these injuries, hopefully this means more opportunities for guys like Anthony Lamb, guys like Armani Brooks even. We'll see what happens. I know KPJ is going to be coming back. I know John Wall is going to be coming back. A lot of dudes are going to be coming back, which has me worried. But I hope the 21-point game, I just hope, at the very least, Coach Steven Silas, I hope that since he dropped 21 points, I hope that means just it can carry over for at least one more game. The Houston Rockets don't play for several more days, which probably is bad for Anthony Lamb's situation because, he needs these guys to not get healthy. But they don't play until Tuesday, so that's 3 days from now. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Anthony can get some run. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.